I saw it coming this way. The sand here is a bit hard. If it's hard, it'll be directly exposed. It burrowed so shallowly. Not deep. Some moon snails burrow very deep. This yellow clam is still burrowing in the sand. What time is it, and it's still burrowing? This one's not small. This one's big. Now on this beach, there are really so many of these small cat clams. I actually released these small ones back into the water. Let them find their way. Ones this big can be taken home to eat. This jellyfish is just left with this ring. The middle parts were all washed away by the sea. This can also be eaten. Enough for a side dish. Who knows with this tide, if I can find the other half. This cat's eye snail, when it burrows in the sand, it seems like the bulge is moving. There are quite a few cat's eye snails moving manually. Cat's eye snails like this need to be rinsed before going home. Otherwise, they'll eat all the sand inside. How did he get in? He doesn't even know to find a shell to hide in. There are seabirds nearby. He must be hiding from the birds. This is a long-legged octopus. This one doesn't have much energy either. It must have been stranded for quite a while. This head is so big. Octopus is stranded for this long. Don't have strong suction anymore. Once it goes inside, it can't get out. Too lost. But this fish, when you eat it, has spikes. It hurts when it pokes you. Let's put it in the water. This big cat clam. It opened its mouth so wide, I thought it was alive. This one must have been stepped on by someone. I feel like this shell. Who stepped it open? The flesh is so plump. The color of this flesh is not bad. This color is all good. It hasn't been long. Such a big one. The water spray is all coming from this hole. You saw him go in, right? If you touch the nostril of this clam, it will retract. Look, there are so many people. It doesn't react. It doesn't like this. Not obedient enough. This kind probably can't come out. Let's just dig it out. There are a lot of shells buried here. This one's quite raw. It feels like I touched it. Demolition, broke it up. It's out. This head is so fat. Like a nail. This head is jerking up and down. It broke. I dug it up and broke it. Even if it's broken, it's still okay to eat. The breathing hole like this and the king clams are quite similar. But this one has sea sprouts inside. Clams generally don't like to stay on this kind of beach. This one runs really fast. It disappeared in a blink. The longer its tail, the faster it escapes. This one's complete. It retracts quite fast. It's a bit longer when it first comes out. Once it's out of the sand, it slowly retracts. I saw its tongue go in. This one is quite obedient. Such a small salt, and it comes out by itself. It's not small. Octopuses are particularly energetic at night. Look, it can even stand up. This one is also not small. This one also has roe. If this octopus wasn't transparent, the white ones are basically all with roe inside. They bite. You have to be careful when picking them up. The big oysters also have flesh. These are two growing together. These are quite plump now. They are particularly abundant when it's cold. They're rarer now. This is also a big clam. This mouth is still open. This one's not small. The mouth he just opened was to eat something. Look, the fish are hiding in this jar. This is its house. Look, this octopus also knows to find a house. This jar was prepared for him. He climbed inside himself. This one's not small either. Generally, when you pick up these mud jars at the beach, you can find octopuses. This sea anemone is completely in bloom. The tide here hasn't fully receded yet. The sand is too hard. There are shells all underneath. It retracts really fast. After it retracts, it's just this big. These are all those small sea anemones. They retract very quickly. What kind of anemone is this? Its bloom is particularly small. The inside of this is all yellow. There's an octopus living inside this conch shell. You can see this trail, right? I followed this trail to find him. Look, he's climbed up here. He doesn't even want his house anymore. It's so much safer inside the shell. There are quite a lot of octopuses now. Look, he's gone back inside again. He must be planning to crawl back into the sea. This one should be a toad. It's different from the king clam. It's different. This is a moon snail. A small one. This moon snail is really small. I rarely dig up such small ones. It was stranded here. He found a conch shell to live in. Kill all the fish. Let me put him here. People coming later will surely take a look. How many fishing lines are tangled on this rope? It's impossible to count them. There are many with eggs on them too. How can I save this one? And there's a pipefish. Also a pipefish. Let's cut it off. This flower crab needs 2 hands to untangle. Wait a moment. If the tide hasn't receded, I'll use 2 hands to untangle some of them. This one's injured. Look at this fishing net. I feel like it must weigh tens of kilograms. They're all alive. All small ones. If you move these flower crabs, they squeak. Can you hear that? This little sea hare is running too fast. I can't even catch it. This whole family is spitting. Hey! The speed. It wants to fly. This one's a bit silly. It keeps running onto the beach. Look how fresh this one is. This sea hare can bite people. Unlucky today. I found 2 large clams here in one place. These were all washed out by the waves. Their shells are dried out. Such a big cat's eye snail. Not much moisture. Those that look like this are all washed out. They originally had bulges too. After the tide recedes, there are many of these cat's eye snails. Can't get a grip on them. These two aren't far apart. They're about the same size. It's very rare to see a live ribbonfish. Look at his eyes. So beautiful. I rarely see them. Only in this season. Sometimes, a few are caught in the fishing nets. This one is also alive. All are jumping around. This ribbonfish won't live for long. Live ribbonfish are really rare. You can see his legs moving, right? Look how beautiful these few are. Those caught in the nets are usually not alive. There are a lot of ribbonfish now. Actually, these are all edible. Look how fresh the color is on his body. There are also 2 small mud skippers here. These small fish are all blocked by this net. This fish is particularly beautiful. Its body is colorful. It can both jump and swim. What a versatile fellow. Let's put him over here. This kind of fish is actually very delicious too. Release it into that water. He'll jump and hop into the sea. It's bulging like this too. Usually, if you're not careful, you won't even see them. You just step on them directly. This one retracts so quickly. Now this cat's eye snail, just after the tide receded, retracts very quickly. Its flesh is quite sensitive. If you touch its flesh, it retracts immediately. Right on this kind of beach, this clam burrows quickly. The sand is quite soft. This is definitely a moon snail. This moon snail, sometimes it looks like this. They are particularly abundant on slightly muddy beaches. After digging it up, you can see its breathing hole. These are 2 moon snails. This thing is the first time I caught 2 moon snails hiding together. These still have flesh. One big, one small. This one saves effort. Are there any more? Caught 2 at once. This water spray is going too far. This one's big. Oh, I see why it sprays so far. Look at this yellow clam. This is truly the first time I've picked up such a large clam. It's so big, look at the water spray. It keeps reaching over here. This is also a jellyfish's tentacle. This one is already dried out. This one shouldn't be small. I don't know where the rest of it went. If it's been in the sun for a while, it becomes sticky. Look, the person's purple tentacles are gone. This kind can't be eaten. Let's just play with it. If I leave it on the beach for a while, it will turn into water. If you cut it, it will melt even faster. This can't be eaten. This piece is okay. Look, this is where it grows out. Like jelly. This jellyfish. Let's put it in the sand. Even the seabirds don't want to eat these. This jellyfish is not small either. This one is fresh. It's just stranded. If they're not stranded, they're flapping around. They all can swim. Look at how big this one is. It must weigh at least 5 or 6 kilograms. It's a bit sticky. If the sun is a bit strong, they will become sticky. This ribbon fish. There are so many ribbon fish now. I should let him swim a bit more. These ribbon fish don't last long. They only live about 1 minute out of the water. Look, this one just came out of the water. Now its energy is not strong. This one's really big. 2 of these are worth 100. This one has strong energy. Look at the patterns on his body. Really beautiful. This one has spikes on it. These are strawberries. Look, there are quite a lot of these yellow flowers now. These are all alive. Look how beautiful this ribbon fish is when it's alive. And the patterns on his body. Many people don't believe that this ribbon fish can be caught alive. This one hasn't been hurt yet. Look at this shimmer. Shimmering and sparkling. There seems to be a bit more underneath. I just saw it go in. And there's a clear goby. A goby fish. There are many of these clear gobies. No one wants to eat them. This razor clam is the one I just grabbed with a gun. I only grabbed half of it. The sand here is a bit hard. The flesh is so plump. The moisture is still okay. After the tide recedes, the moisture of these clams on the beach is not much. This one's not small. This mouth just exploded earlier. This shell has a barnacle growing on it. This barnacle is also alive. Some smaller things on top. A size like this is okay. This one's a bit small. Let's put these smaller ones over here. The clams on this beach are quite big. Let's put them all here. This little cuttlefish is quite fun. Hey. Spitting. It's all ink. Its belly was so big just now. There's too little water. Let's find some water and release it. It doesn't bite. In a while, it will again. Spit out all the foam. There's no water left here after the tide receded. There's only a little pooled in here. No, that won't do. I need to put it this way. After it realizes, if it doesn't come out, it won't come out. In this situation, it will run away. In the meantime, let's dig a way out for it. That should be about right. Hey. It went over there. I was still a bit slow. In this place. Sometimes the clams run particularly fast. Just like this one. This one isn't small either. I directly dug out this nostril for it. Its flesh ran away by itself.